Okay, I finally had the Opti Spark pulled off of the front of the LT1 here on the Buick Estate, 94 Buick Estate wagon. Now, I mentioned before, I believe that this Opti Spark was replaced once before. The reason why I think that is because I believe these, on the earlier models up through 94, these had 3 little vent holes at the bottom, and they did not have a vacuum feed line like this one has on it. I guess in 95, well, up through 94, these Opti Sparks had a problem with moisture in them, which would short everything out. So, and GM put 3 little vent holes in the bottom to help pull the moisture out of them. Well, that didn't really work. So what they did was on the 95s and 96s is put this vent feed tube on the bottom, which is actually a vacuum. You're supposed to hook up a vacuum line to it, and it looked like someone had already done the conversion on this one. This was replaced once before. Put the vacuum line on there, and you tee it into the vacuum system on the car. So I don't know too much about these cars. This is the first time I'm working on an LT1, but that doesn't look like a factory fitting right there, and that tees into the vacuum lines in the car. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but from what I researched on these cars is the 94s didn't have the vacuum line hookup on them. They just had a vent system, and this unit doesn't look that old, and I think just sitting for years, just kind of moisture getting to it took it out. The car just sat outside, and that was the end of it. So when I pulled this off, as I mentioned before, as a harmonic balancer, I marked the harmonic balancer with with a silver paint marker. The 12 o'clock position, I marked the center hub, center part of the harmonic balancer, and I also put a silver mark on the hub off the crankshaft. When I pulled the Opti Spark module off of it, it's driven by the crankshaft, as you can see, or the camshaft, as you can see right there, and there is a peg in the camshaft, and that peg looks like there's 3 different positions where that peg can sit in this one. It's hard to say because the one that the peg fit into, which I marked with the silver paint marker, this camera does not focus at all, looks like that particular hole is a different shape than the other ones. So maybe it is just one way that it can go. But I marked it anyways, so when I put it all back together, the timing won't be incorrect on this engine. So there is a seal behind here. I'm going to replace the camshaft seal, the water pump shaft seal. I'm going to replace, of course, the Opti Spark module, and I'm going to replace the water pump. So that's as far as I got. Hopefully I'll be able to get the parts in a couple of days and start putting this back together.